Good evening. I'm Catherine Cuellar. I'm the Director of Communications, Outreach, and Marketing for the City of Dallas, joined by my peer director of the Department of Convention and Event Services, Rosa Fleming. Hi, Rosa.
Hi, nice to be here. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. So, Kay Bailey Hutchison Convention Center has a pretty big master plan underway. Can you tell us about what some of its highlights include?
Sure. So we're in the concepting phase, still master planning and doing advanced planning and programming. But what we're looking at is a convention center that moves from kind of an east-west orientation and blocks two major city streets to one that is north and south, and it opens up into southern Dallas, allowing for development, something that hasn't been available before because of its orientation. It's going to be expanded, so it'll offer about 800,000 square feet of additional usable space, so additional exhibit hall space, additional meeting rooms, which is a big deal. Meeting rooms play a pivotal part in the ability to attract technology focused conferences, to attract medical-based conferences. Those are the kind that really garner additional jobs in a city, that garner additional hotel rooms. It'll also offer something that we really don't offer right now, which is outdoor space, so that people will be able to use that space for outdoor activities and turn it into really a 365-day experience type convention center versus what we have now.
That sounds very exciting. And as a former resident of the Cedars and a lifelong downtown worker, I am so excited at the possibility of knitting that corner of downtown more closely together with Southern Dallas.
I think it's a big win for Dallas. I think you go to other cities. In the past, we visited about 10 other convention centers before actually going into the master planning phase. And doing that, we looked at our competition and we looked at what we're really missing, which was connectivity. So there's not a lot of ability to walk around the current convention center. It is absolutely safe, but when you have a lot of parking lots and you have a lot of dark spaces, people who don't live here and who are unfamiliar with Dallas, or people who just want to walk around downtown, start to have a feeling that it's unsafe. And so what we do is begin to open those spaces up to the daylight, allow transportation opportunities around it, and to be able to have people understand that it's an enjoyable part of the city and bring life back to that part of downtown. But more importantly, as we go through the process, it's job creation. It's understanding that we'll create probably 50 to 100,000 jobs. Some will be not permanent. There'll be construction jobs. There'll be jobs related to the installation of transportation. But the permanent jobs, hospitality is one of those where a person doesn't necessarily have to go to college, right? You can start as in the janitorial staff, as housekeeping, learn each of the phases of something in a hotel, each of the phases of something in a convention center, and end up a general manager at a hotel. There's tons of stories about that. So it's an opportunity for us to integrate into our racial equity plan. It's an opportunity for us to work with Hotel Association of North Texas, Visit Dallas, engineers, architects throughout the city and other entities, and build an internship program and open that door beginning in junior high, getting people to understand what a hospitality industry and tourism industry focused job looks like. So there's so much more to it than just building a building.
Well, as a daughter and granddaughter of a hospitality family, I know that workforce development opportunity is tremendous. And speaking of opportunities that are tremendous, I know that on Tuesday, November 8th, Proposition A is on the ballot for voters in the city of Dallas. While we don't yet know what the outcome of that election will be, if it were to pass, what would be some of the next steps following?
Sure. So the next steps, immediately after that, it's canvassing. So if you do an election, you have to canvass. So about 2 weeks later, we'll immediately have to jump into the financial component of it, which is putting together the package to sell revenue bonds. And so there's an integration here. If you remember, part of that includes Fair Park, and it's certain specific buildings at Fair Park that are involved. And so the first bond issue will more than likely be for Fair Park. And accounting for some of those soft and hard costs so that we begin to prepare that facility. The convention center itself will go into procurement phase. So first we'll issue procurement for project manager. We'll work with that project management entity, and we'll start to issue the architecture, engineering, and design component of that and go into the design phase. That'll last maybe a year and a couple of months, with the goal to actually go into construction in middle to August of 2024.
So you've talked about the different sectors of potential procurement opportunities. You've talked about the timeline for those procurement opportunities. For business owners who want to engage with the City of Dallas and be considered for these procurement opportunities, where can they find more information?
Well, first, if they want to be considered, they need to register on the bonfire site at dallascityhall.com. That's step one. Step two is then to keep their eye out at dallasccmasterplan.com, and we'll actually do updates about the phasing of the convention center, updates about the timelines, and updates about any upcoming procurements. And throughout that, post-election, should everything go well, we'll be doing a circuit around the city. We'll be working with each of our elected officials. We'll be working with all of the entities, each of the chambers, establishing an external and internal controls committee that'll help us make sure that we do outreach and we have all of the information out there so that people will know if they want to be a part of it, if they want to participate, either as someone who merely gives input into the plan or as someone who wants to submit a proposal for any of our procurements. All of that information will be out there on several outlets. And we partner with our Small Business Center, we partner with our Office of Procurement, and we partner with each of the chambers and each of the groups that actually does outreach, like the Dallas Fort Worth Minority Business Supplier Council, etc. So
thank you. If there are any questions from our studio audience, you can line up at the mic. If not, again, what's the website for people to get more information?
Sure, it's dallasccmasterplan.com.
Rosa Fleming, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, and thank you for having me. I've enjoyed it. Thank you.